Hi all, today let's see how we can easily debug an Angular application which uses the Ivy renderer. So for debugging purpose, I have downloaded the Heroes application which is provided in the Angular site and I have made a minor modification so that it will fail. So I have started the application and you can see the application has failed throwing some errors like this. So it is saying like cannot read property length of undefined and it is showing that the error occurred in the HTML. So now let's see how we can find the exact place where the error occurred. So we take the sources tab and we enable the pause on code exceptions. Now let's refresh the application. So these are some generic messages like errors which happen while we load an Angular application. So now let's see the error. Yeah. So this is the error which we saw in our console. So now you can see that the error occurred in message component.html and the message services.messages. So how can you see like which was the undefined variable? So here in this corner where we have the scope or local. So here you can see an object called CTX. So in that if you open the message services, you can see that the context is message component and inside the message services there is nothing called messages. So when we are trying to get the length of an undefined variable, we are getting the error. So here we can go to the messages services and here you can see that I had removed the initialization. So now I have again removed the initialization for the messages array and the previously failing statement was this messages.length. So in case I had put a safety operator here, what would have happened? Now let's refresh the application and now you can see that the error has shifted to another place. So here it is much easier, like you can see when we try to push a message into the messages array, since it is undefined, it's failing. So here again, in case I had put the optional chaining operator, so what will happen? So now what happens is like no error will be reported in our console, but the actual application is not working. So how can we debug this scenario? Let's see. Now let's inspect our web application using the element inspector. So our message component should have ideally come here. So I have used the inspector and when I'm checking here, you can see that the component is created here, but without any content since it failed. So Angular Ivy, which came after Angular 8 and above. So this provides some utility methods which we can use for debugging, especially in the development mode. So this won't be available in the production mode since these methods will be removed using tree shaking by Webpack. So these utility methods are available in the global ng object. So once you type ng dot, you will get a list of utility objects which are available. So now the most commonly used methods are the get owning component and the get component. So let's try this. So get component needs a parameter. So the parameter is usually element. Like so, since we have selected the app messages, we can provide the $0 which will point to the current element. So now you can see that you get an instance of the message component with all the current data within that. So the messaging service which is injected into the message component is shown here and you can see that inside that it's empty. So in case we added it back, like we initialized it. Now if you see, you can see that the messages has been rendered here. Now let's again inspect the component. So here you can see that the messages have been populated here. So now let's see what happens when we select this div and execute the same command. So you can see that we do not get a component instance. So there is another method called the ng.getOwning component. So what this does is when we select an element, it will return the component instance of the parent component. So we can see that now it returns the message component instance. So suppose we had selected the app messages, it will return the parent component like the app component, which is the parent for the app messages. So this is the difference between get component and the get owning component. So I have created a directive called color, which basically does nothing, like it just sets the background color of a particular element as red. So I have attached it to the button which has the clear label. So now let's see whether we will be able to inspect a directive using these utilities. So let me select the clear button, and you can see that there is a method called get directives, and again we can pass the same $0 as the parameter. You can see that you get the instance of the directive, and inside that all the properties which are present inside that directive. And we also have another thing called the get listeners. So again we can use $0 as the parameter, and here you can see like what are all the event listeners that are attached to that particular element. So here we had the click. You can see that here. It's also possible to see this using the event listeners option which is present here. So here you can see that the click event is listed here also, and you can even remove that using this option. Now let's take a look at some of the less common options which are available. So there is a method called get root components, which again accepts the current selected element as a parameter. So when we execute this, it will return a list of all the components which are the root. So root means basically which have been provided in our bootstrap array which we use in our app module. So since we define the app component as the bootstrap, it will be listed in this component array. So similarly we have something else called ng.getContext. So this is similar to get owning component, except when the current selected element is inside an ngIf or an ngFor. So in this scenario, let's see the message component. So you can see that it is present inside an ngIf. So in case I had selected the app messages, when I execute, you can see that it gives the parent component. But since the current div is inside an ngIf, it will provide that as a context. So similarly, if we select this, let's select this and try, you can see that it is showing the ngFor as the context. We have a method called the ng.getInjector. So we can get the injector which is associated with that current element. So you can see here it is the message component. So similarly, if you go up, it keeps on changing, like finally till we reach the root component. So here it will be the root view, and if we go outside that, it will finally return the null injector. So this is the starting point of all injectors. We have another method called the ng.getHostElement. So if you select a particular element, so I am selecting the button, and if you type this, you will get the exact same element itself, but you can use the some manipulations to get the host element of any like the owning component. So I have selected the owning component, so you get the app messages which is the owning component of this particular element. So similarly we can use the get root components. So since it is an array, I am just getting the first one, so it will return the app root. So similar to this, we have one more method called the ng.apply changes. So this will be useful when we use the on push change detection strategy, and if we need to run the change detection manually from the console. you can use this method. Hope this video provided some insights into how you can debug your Angular IB application. See you soon. Thank you.